It's recording. Greetings, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for joining me in our last minute IELT meeting, but we gotta get this done. I saw it, thought that I needed to call this meeting for the last period of the day. You all some teachers, some subs to cover the last 8-hour period, so we're gonna get this done. Welcome, Master Teacher Pfeiffer, Master Teacher Reynolds. So what I did was, I was looking at our iReady usage data for the month of January. And I noticed some issues. I noticed some problems and some gaps in the data. But, I wanted you all to see it because, you're my instructional leadership team, my master teachers, and I know the teachers are going to be more receptive because they hear my voice all the time. I know they'll be more receptive if they hear your voice. So take about 2 minutes. If you want to come up to the board, that's fine. I know you probably have the data on your papers as well, whichever way is comfortable. But just take 2 minutes and really analyze this data to see if you can see the same gaps and trends, and potential problems in instruction that I saw. Okay, so take 2 minutes.
I can see that. January, February, but not a lot of kids have all. But it could be something due to the pandemic because we would have a website. Right. The trends later on in the month as noted there. In person, there's no research. I would have to go back to that, but looking at the passing rate, it's like it stays around that 44%, 45%. For the kids actually passing. We need to make sure that we have a teacher looking at the kids. We don't have at least like 70% of the kids pass a lesson. 75, we think,
because that's so sweet. I think I maybe was 67 for meetings this
Dr. Hess, I see a huge issue, let me go look, let me see.
That's fine, we can start. We have 30 more seconds.
Oh, we got 30 more seconds. Oh, wait.
I mean, if you all see the
Look,
problem,
I see, okay, so look.
I was being generous with time, but my master teachers, you all so fantastic, so great. If you already see it, then go ahead. Go ahead.
So the weekend, like January 3rd, there's like only like maybe like 5 students who actually met their usage.
Okay.
And I see on the board now that it says because we had a late start, the kids didn't actually get here until that Thursday and Friday because of, I guess we started late because of that COVID. And only 26% of the students actually passed their lessons per week. So I'm thinking, of course, because of COVID, that was a huge issue. But as, the next week, we following, we're still around that 40 to 45% where the kids actually pass a lesson per week.
Well, I also see that it's technology deployment as well. So I think we were still virtual that week. And now we were able to get computers out to students. And so, although, they have technology now, it's still, they're at home. So it's still, the passage rate isn't great. Usually it's not that low. But because they're at home, the teachers aren't there to kind of motivate them. And even if they have questions, they're at home, they can't readily raise their hand and have a teacher there to kind of assist them if they're struggling with the lesson.
I agree with everything you all said. That's some of the things I saw. We have roughly probably about 100 students, a little bit over, maybe 100 plus or minus less. Well, let's call it 100. 100 students roughly in kindergarten through 8th grade. The month of January, only 5 students that did their iReady examination. That's for K-12. And then you all identified that when we went virtual, we had issues with deployment. By January 10th, that's after deployment, we go back to in person. We see that it's 52 students that actually complete their iReady. All right? So we've identified an issue within the student's usage map. But on another note, what about the percent of the lessons per third grade level. In kindergarten, what's the percentage of lessons that's being completed? 91. And as we increase grade levels, does anybody see a trend? If I go to first grade, what do I see?
40, yeah.
I go to second grade, I see.
67.
I go to third grade.
7%.
Is third grade a testing?
Yeah.
Instead?
Yes.
And what is it? What's the lessons per week?
It should be 3.
What's the percentage?
7% of the students pass.
7%. So third grade is one of our key grade levels for taking the MSTEP test,
But none of them
and it's
met
7%.
their, yeah, none of them met their usage in minutes anyway.
And none of them have their usage.
Yeah, none of them met their usage.
So it has 0% of students who actually allocated the needed time required by the district, which is 45 minutes.
Right.
None of those students met it. I want to say third grade is I think 16 students. Well, 16 students, 0 made it. And then of that 16, only 7% actually did some form of work, which is still underachieving. That's one of our testing. So I'm just helping you identify problems. You already identified a lot, so I'm just going back over. What do we notice when we get to, I believe this is fourth grade? What's the percentage for users, for lessons passed?
53%, 47%.
And then I want to say this is this fifth grade?
It might be 6.
6? Yep, 6. 6, 7. No, this is fifth grade. 87% is fifth grade.
16% is 7th grade.
16% is 7.
Oh no, 6th grade. And then 7th grade is 42, and then 8th grade is
25%.
So it looks like as the grades
Yeah,
progress, they don't pass as many lessons.
So if the students are using iReady less and less as they increase in grade level, what is the ramifications that will have on MSTEP testing? Because iReady is a predictor for MSTEP. And we're not always trying to settle for growth. We want proficiency as well. So based on this data on iReady, what do you think the prediction that we're going to do on MSTEP?
Then I think it's gonna be good.
And
And we might even go backwards.
Right.
So knowing that, what grade level do you think we should probably attack the most? Just looking at that. Which one would you prioritize? They're all important. Which one would you prioritize? We have a limited amount of time. Which one would you prioritize first?
So the first thing you would think is 3rd, but I would almost want to do maybe 7, because you see that they are actually, it looks like half the class is, working, they're passing half of their lessons. So because of those two things, they're actually doing it and they're passing. You may want to get the other half of the class on board into participating and passing, because you're halfway there.
So the
With that.
potential to create the most growth
Yes,
will probably be in 7th
7th
grade,
grade, yeah.
which also would hit them for 8th grade when they take them steps.
And stuff, and then SAT, things like that.
I'm gonna agree with that. So now that we've identified where we can get the best bang for our buck, which is 7th grade, because we have one of the highest usage rates and we have one of the highest percents of lessons passed relative to the amount of students. So if we get those students testing more, we can probably show more growth on our end of the year assessment data. So what is a learning target? Because we got to put numbers to it. How much percentage and by what time do we want to see this done? What's our percentage goal? Do we want to see a 5% increase or 10% increase? What's the percentage of growth we want to see from the 7th grade class?
I think you could almost do a 25% growth,
Okay.
where you have 75% of them meeting their target. Is that realistic? 25%. You're at 50, if you look at all the weeks, 50-50.
All right, so we're going to establish a smarter goal. We definitely want it to be realistic. We want to be specific. We want to be measurable. We want to be actionable, realistic, and time.
So if we really want to be detailed, we need to honestly look at the seventh grade students and see if anyone has yellow and red, making sure that the teachers are working with those students who are on that yellow and red and not just letting time pass. So they have to have more input also. They have to be on the kids. They have to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing and not just sitting there letting the time run out, because that's what it seems like some of this is happening, that they're just letting the time run and not actually doing the work. So I think that's a big issue. And I think that maybe, what are we at, 42%? Is that 42%?
So I saw out here some action steps, but we didn't state it. I don't think we stated the goal.
Okay.
I thought maybe we could get 25%. So it would be,
That's a huge goal.
that's more, I mean, because you have 50, so each week is 50-50, so
Are we talking about
You said
time?
realistic, right? What about time?
that's what I'm thinking, that you can get 75% of the students.
Okay. I thought
Not
you meant,
passing, but just
the usage.
usage.
We only got a month, right? We in March, right? April next month. Start testing next month.
Oh, if we're talking about usage, you can do better than that.
So it's 50 right now, so
I
I'm
think we can
thinking
do better than that. We're just talking about usage.
usage, yeah.
I think that we can do at least 85%, if not more.
So we want 85% of our students,
Seventh graders.
7th grade, to show what percentage of usage?
They're 45 minutes
To show 45 minutes
per week.
per week usage. Okay. Now we gotta go.
Okay.
Now that we have a goal, we need the steps we're going to take to accomplish that goal.
Okay.
Now, we start talking about it. We hit it towards some steps. We need some more. I would say at least 3 to 4 steps. What are 3 to 4 things we can do to attain our goal?
First one is have a conversation with the teacher about your students.
Expectation.
Yeah.
Expectation of 85% of your students need to have.
So meet with teacher, provide them some coaching feedback.
Yeah.
And then also share it with the students that what the expectation is. That they're expected to have 45 minutes of already.
We do something at DIA for the students to show academic ownership. What is it called? How do
Our
students-
day trackers.
Yes.
Our day
I already data trackers. Okay. So we meet with teacher, we give the teacher coaching feedback. Students on it with the iReady data tracker. What else?
We have midweek data talks.
That talks. And I know this is probably not everybody's first, but I like to give awards.
So we got midweek data talks, and that's led by the master teacher.
Yeah. We can also do them in the PLCs. Or are you talking about with the kids or with the teacher?
I think kids and teachers,
Okay.
like, it needs to be so that the students know where they are.
And PLC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's our timetable? Because we're in March, right? What's this, March 13th?
Mm-hmm.
Test is April 13th. We got 1 month. We got basically 30 days.
Right.
So how are we going to monitor? How are we going to make sure that the teachers are doing these action steps, the students are doing the iReady data track? You go out and take attendance at your PLCs and your midweek data talks and have an agenda to support that. But what about how are we going to make sure the teacher is receptive to this coaching feedback and is actually ensuring that the students are doing it? What's our time?
Next week we're off, so the following week, we just have to make sure that we're persistent with the teachers and that we're not just telling them, okay, this is what I want you to do and then check back on April 13th, but we have to do our monitoring, checking on the teachers to make sure that they're doing it weekly.
Okay, so my master teachers have to do their observations tonight.
Yeah.
How many observations per week?
We should be in the classroom every day. So,
So just, walkthroughs.
about it, yeah.
So daily observations or walkthroughs to monitor that the teachers are receptive to the coaching feedback and that the students are completing their operating data trackers, which is going to identify that they met their usage rate. Mid-week data talk, that's led by the master teachers, and then the PLCs, which breaks it down into the department. And there's definitely a focus on seventh grade. Okay?
And so-
We can set a follow-up meeting, thanks to 13.
Let's follow up in the week, just to see if the data's changing. So we can follow up March 23rd.
And we can do the same time period,
Okay.
which is
2/5
to 3:20. Everybody good?
Sounds good.
Good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, time-wise, where are we on time? Did we go over? Is it 3:20?
Yes.
I'm sorry. That's why you all are my master teachers. We work hard. School's actually out because we got out at 3:20, but we still here working.
Yes.
That's why we're gonna meet our goals. Okay? I thank both of you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you. All right, have a good day.